clutch 0.65, then the Tempest increases of 40%, and finally the 570.
Hey guys, this is ChefBoyJP, bringing you my updated Eruption Fl4k build. First off, let's start with the build's namesake, Eruption. This COB assault rifle allows you to debuff enemies on reload. You can animation cancel to reload too and constantly spam it with rack attack, melees, grenades, a number of things. After that, we got the pointy cycle stabber. Any COV pistol with 120 melee damage is fine here. In our bag we have more than loads. If that's what you have, that's perfectly fine. What you want here too is a 390 anoint. This will allow you to maximize your Stinger Shield's effectiveness. Next, I have a gargoyle 200 ASE splash. Here you can also use a couple things. If you want to use a all-in-one weapon with melee damage on the card and 200 ASE splash, that's fine. The main things here are the melee damage on the card and the 200 ASE splash. This weapon you can't see on the card, but you can see right here it does have an extra 60 melee damage. For our last weapon, you want the face puncher. The times 14 and the times 7 variant are both fine. Try shooting a times 14. It does do more damage, but see how the ammo consumption feels. It's important to get a 390 anoint. This will again allow you to maximize your Stinger Shield effectiveness. And when you do switch to a face puncher white elephant, you'll get some crazy hits with the white elephant. Up next, we have the Stinger Shield. This is where a good portion of the damage in this build comes from. Constantly triggers a Nova on shield break or anytime you use your action skill with the action skill start anoint. You're going to want to get multiple elements if you can. It'll benefit you in different situations. For your grenade, you can use almost anything you want. My personal preference is its piss. I like to debuff enemies on throw. What's important here is to get the radiation ASE. You want radiation damage coming from somewhere, allowing your enemies to explode on death and get those explosions to chain. For your artifact, you can use a couple things. I'm using a knife drain white elephant right now. I was just doing a all-in-one takedown. Somewhere where you have aggressive enemies that are shooting at you, hitting you pretty often, you're going to want a knife drain. Anywhere else, you can use a cryostone white elephant, flesh melter, unleash the dragon. As long as you're constantly moving, sustain and staying alive isn't too bad for this build, at least for a Fl4k build. For your comm, you can use a couple things too. Right now I'm using a Rat Commander, that's for mobbing. That seems to be the general consensus among the community. What's important to point out here is the splash damage radius. This will really benefit your Novas and it'll come in clutch really often, just allowing you to clear out more enemies faster. A rack pack is also pretty good. This one doesn't have splash damage radius, so I don't use it too much, despite it being able to hit pretty hard. Sometimes I use it for bossing. Cosmic Stalker is good too, because it'll benefit a lot of your V1 bonuses. So in the green tree, you're going to want to go 5 out of 5 into self-repairing system for extra sustain and extra health. 5 out of 5 into eager to impress. This build does not take head count. You do not crit very often with this build. This is where most of your cooldown for your racks comes from. 1 out of 3 into all my BFFs to move down the tree. 1 out of 1 into Lick the Wounds. You don't go down a ton in this build, but when you do, you will need your pet most of the time to help you pick up. Your weakest time is when you're down. Turn tail and run, a little bit more health regen and damage reduction while moving. You should always be moving with this build, so this will always be active. The gun damage and the fire rate are kind of irrelevant to this build. You won't be shooting very much. 2 out of 3 into Fast and Furious for a little extra movement speed. You can really move those points around anywhere if you have a different preference. In the blue tree, 5 out of 5 into Furiosity to move down the tree and to get a little extra damage on the pet. No points into Persistence Hunter because we're not concerned with gun damage, and Rack Attack does not benefit from action skill duration. 2 out of 5 into Who Rescued Who, a little sustain for you and your pet. 1 out of 3 into He Bites to proc Frenzy. 5 out of 5 into Frenzy, it's a powerful V1 bonus that will benefit all our flak skills. 1 out of 3 into Hive Mind to move down the tree and get a little defenses. 1 out of 1 on the Psycho Head on a Stick to give your pet a little more damage, and to give him extra movement speed, allowing him to get around the map faster, and most importantly to pick you up faster. 5 out of 5 into Barbaric Yacht, this triples your pet bonuses. 3 out of 3 into Pack Tactics, giving you extra health and extra damage. In the red tier, going 5 out of 5 into Interplanetary Stalker, picking up another powerful V1 bonus that's going to again benefit all our skills. 5 out of 5 into Second Intention, because when you do reload, you don't want to be reloading very long. Also, a lot of these other skills here won't benefit this build. 5 out of 5 into Hunter's Eye to move down the tree. You want to move down the tree so you can get at least 2 augments for your rack attacks. I personally prefer Falconer's Feast for the extra 7% max health per rack, and Block and Load for an additional 2 rack. And then finally 3 out of 3 into Big Game to power up all your V1 bonuses just a little further. For your action skill, you are going to want to use Rack Attack, allowing you to activate your Stinger Shield as frequently as possible. For augments, I like to run Falconer's Feast plus Block and Load. I'm not too worried about getting a lot of damage out of my Rack Attack. I just want to get some heals, some sustain from my Rack Attack, and I want to proc my Stinger Shield very often. When it comes to your pet, Spider and Scorcher will give you the most damage, but a lot of the times it's really overkill. This build has absolutely no problem with damage, so the Beefcake, Jabber, and Spider and Countess are both great alternatives which provide you with a bunch of effective health. Plus, with Barbaric Yop, all these bonuses are tripled.